Bismillahirrahmanirrahim. Today, perhaps, jihad is one of the most misunderstood doctrines of Islam. Not only there are misconceptions regarding this all-important and paramount directive of Islam amongst Muslims, these misconceptions are also found among our non-Muslim brethren. Now, for example, one of the most grave misconceptions which is found amongst our own Muslims is the notion that there are two types of jihad. One is jihad bin nafs, or jihad against one's base desires, one's against base wishes, and the other is jihad bis sayf, or jihad with the sword, which is conducted or undertaken against an enemy. Now, first of all, it has to be realized that this distinction is not found in the Quran or in any authentic narrative of the Prophet. Yes, it is found in one inauthentic narrative of the Prophet, and most authorities like Ibn Taymiyyah, Ibn Hajar, and Nasiruddin Albani have strongly condemned and criticized this narrative because its ascription to the Prophet stands on slippery grounds. So therefore, we must realize that there is no such distinction in the original sources of Islam. We cannot say that jihad bin nafs or jihad bis sayf are two distinctions amongst the types of jihad which are warranted in the Sharia. The second important thing which needs to be realized is that not only is this distinction made, but it is also understood that jihad bin nafs is a greater jihad than jihad bis sayf or jihad by the sword. So therefore, if this narrative is not correct, then one needs to realize that this greater jihad or this lesser jihad or this distinction between jihad which is greater or lesser is also not warranted. It is not mentioned in the original sources of Islam, and hence we cannot make this distinction. So therefore, we have to realize this fact that this distinction is not found in the original sources of Islam. Islam, of course, as we know, primarily the directives of Islam are mentioned in the Quran, and the Quran mentions, of course, jihad which relates to the enemy and which relates to one's sword, and it also mentions other types of jihad. Jihad primarily means to strive in the way of God. This striving in the way of God could be through one's wealth, through one's own person, and similarly through other means. But as far as this distinction of jihad bin nafs or jihad bis sayf is concerned, it is not found in the original sources of Islam. أقول قولي هذا واستغفر الله لي ولكم ولسائر المسلمين والمسلمات.